Hi guys, it's me Paula and welcome back to my channel. How's everyone doing today? Weekend at the end of today, which is great. Not that we're doing very much anyway, because really can't still do very much. Anyway, this is the second time I've filmed this video. I did actually film this video last night because I wanted to do a sort of chatty, get ready with me and have a little chat about I'm not a drama channel, I'm not really a commentary channel, but I did wanted to chat a little bit about all the drama that's on YouTube that everyone and their dogs and their uncles talking about, you know. But I don't know, I felt like I rambled quite a lot in it. I wasn't so clear on what I was trying to say, and still, you know, my views of it aren't completely still quite clear. Which I think most people who are commenting on it as well, unless you've got a very particular views one way or the other, you know, it's difficult to sort of to not be slightly waffly when you're talking about it. But I felt it was a bit too waffly, so this is the second time that I have filmed this video. So anyway, I'm gonna do a get ready with me. I am going to be using my Jefree Star mirror, but that's not this is not me endorsing Jefree Star or some kind of, you know, like affiliation sort of sign or anything like that. Anyway, so I'm just gonna put my hair up. It's such a day of it yesterday as well, and my little girl, who is coming up for 5, my husband decided to take her out to burn some energy on a walk. Now we've got like a forest quite near like in our little town. We've got this little, like quite a big forest area that's kind of nearby, and there's like a little path that goes through a field to get to the forest. Now unfortunately there's a housing development going to be going up there. Now it's a bit controversial and people are very angry about it, as everyone always is when these things happen. You know, the whole YOLO thing. What's it not? No, not YOLO. That's something completely else, isn't it? What's it called? NIMBYism. Not in my backyard. That's it. Not in my backyard ism. However, anyway, it was a bit of a shame because it is a nice walk. So my husband went there, and now to get into the field, you've got to go on this like longer route because the other bit's got fencing everywhere. And so they were out for a walk. My little girl was kind of running on ahead to get a stick. She wanted the stick. And my husband's like sort of casual, like, yeah, it's fine. You know what men are like, you know. I'm a bit more OCD with kind of making sure she's right beside me when we're going out for a walk. Because I'm a little... So I'm just going to use the Fenty. This is such a great primer. This is the... And I'm really sad because it's coming to an end. I have got other primers, but this is by standout best primer I think I've ever used. This is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Primer. It's really hydrating. I think it was... I saw Teresa's Dead, who I just really love her reviews, and really trust her kind of recommendations. And yeah, it's very hydrating, nourishing. Let's see, my face is looking really really glowy because it's so hot as well today. It was so rainy yesterday. But anyway, back to the story. So my husband sort of let her run ahead to get the stick thing, and she's so fast. She's like, I don't know, she could give Usain Bolt a run for his money. She's so super fast. And she decided she was going to, like, the edge of the fencing area, which is fenced off for, like, you know, they're kind of like turning up the land. She took her boots off before my husband could see it, and she had wellies on and scaled the fence over the top. My husband was running trying to grab her, and she's over the other side, and he was shouting, come back, and she thought it was a game because she loves people, you know, like her brother's chasing her and things. So I got a phone call from my husband. I was doing the housework, and he was like, you need to run down to the bottom of the road. She's, you know, so basically the start of the path, the old path, was at the bottom of our road. So I literally legged it. I think I haven't run as fast as that since I was maybe about 15. And yeah, so I ran down to try, and she was at the other side because there's a road, so we were really scared she was going to run into the road, and it was like, oh my god. But luckily I got there, and there was like a little gap, and I managed to get her to come through it. But I was fully prepared to scale this damn fence. I really was. I don't know how I would have done it, but I would have done it. So yeah, so that's the drama of yesterday for me. Anyway, so I'm going to use this concealer. I'm just trying to use it up as a Jefree Star one. I'm not sure if it's really it is. I mean, I'm light skinned. I'm very fair, almost like sort of, you know, almost Victorian-esque pale. But you know, I need I need to use it up. This is actually, I would say, even a bit too pale for me, but I'm wanting to use it up. I'm just going to put a bit on. Yesterday I realised I put far too much on, and I was saying, oh, why is my skin looking so chalky? And I realised that I put far too much of this stuff on, and that was why. I was trying to fiddle around with the filters on my camera. I thought I triggered a filter by accident. And no, it was just me over applying concealer. So I'm not going to actually put on any foundation. I quite like to go foundation free quite a lot of the time, and certainly with the Drunk Healthy products I've been using, my skin is so much, you know, so clear at the moment, and quite, you know, it's kind of evened out a lot of especially when you get like patchy complexion bits and things. So it's good, because it's good to take a concealer break, a foundation break, even if you normally wear foundation. So I'm trying to see if this is blended down. Without my glasses it can be quite hard sometimes. So that is the Jefree Star, and that's just the I'm trying to remember what it's called. This is C4, and this is just in his magic concealer. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to use, I'm going to put a bit of powder on, and I'm going to use my favourite powder. I've got two of them, so I'm just decide which one I've used. These are expensive powders, but I totally recommend purchasing them. I think I'm going to go for this one here. This is it says here, the Éclat Doux, which is a face powder, and I'll show you what it looks like. It's got beautiful packaging. It's really nice. I'm trying to, I don't know if that's, and I'm going to use my Linda Hallberg sponge here, because this is great for patting on powder. Now this is a Touche Éclat. It's expensive, but it's so worth it. I bought it, and it's ages ago, and it's lasted me so long. I mean, that I haven't even hardly, you know, made an indentation in it. And what it does, it's very, 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 it blends so well into your skin, and it's very blurring, so it's very good at getting rid of any kind of like pore issues, or you know, almost like flattening down wrinkles and stuff like that. It's really good. I know, you know, Trini Woodall does her, you know, her sort of blurring one, but actually I would say this has stand out better, much better. Well, the price point's much more expensive. Anyway, so that's that one. Yeah, so yesterday I started off the video chatting about the Jefree Star thing, and you know, Jefree Star, Tati, Shane discussion that's been going around on YouTube. Now it's funny, because actually, in essence, if you include the video that started everything off last year, which was that whole the Bi Sister one, this has only really been 4 videos in total. I would have said that's kind of made up all this controversy. In essence, obviously there's other things that's been alluded to, but in essence it's 4 videos. We've got the Bi Sister, the Breaking My Silence by Tati, which she just did a couple of days ago, Shane's Dawson's React video, and the one where he does his apology as well. So I'm just going to clean this mirror, because really it gets makeup on it so easily. Now, I've watched quite a few React videos on this, so, you know, even though I'm not that bothered about the drama that much, but it's hard not to get drawn in, isn't it? Even if you're not that bothered about, you know, YouTube drama, it is hard to not get drawn in when you see in every single, like every second video that comes up on your news feed is about the controversy, and you know, you're like, oh, what is that about? And so you do get drawn in. Now, to be honest with you, before I started my YouTube channel in September, I really had no idea who any of these people were. I didn't know who Tati Westbrook was. I didn't know who Jefree Star was, and to be honest with you, I only had a vague idea of who Shane Dawson was. I knew he did like documentary style things on YouTube, but I didn't really watch it. So I'm going to use for my blusher, I'm going to use this cheek shade Smitten from Chantecaille. It's a gorgeous blusher, and it's a nice, I mean, I'm wearing this kind of peachy sort of top from Oasis today. I miss Oasis. Side note. And this is when it's got an elephant indentation on it. I don't know if you can even see that. These blushers are really good. These are the cheek shade ones, and each one has like an animal. I'll pop up there a picture of some of the other shades, and what they do is they have like like a bee or some kind of, there's a few like sea creature ones, and what they do is they make donations, Shantakai, for every purchase of these they make a donation to, you know, the particular animal charity involved, which is really good. I think that's really good. um so yeah, so I didn't really, back to my point, I wasn't that hugely aware of who these people were before I started YouTube. And since I've, you know, obviously started YouTube, engaging a lot more in the content, you know, speaking to the creators, you know, I have sort of seen a lot more stuff come out about these people. And it is interesting because out of all the beauty commentators you get on YouTube, there's only a very few of them in the beauty community that are really what they call, I know they always talk about these as these being problematic. There's not that many what you class as problematic YouTubers, and a lot of them tend to be in these sort of top echelons of YouTube, the ones that are earning the big bucks. You know, people like Jefree Star, Manny MUA, James Charles, people like that. Now, but then at the time when I was sort of, you know, joining YouTube, but still people were talking about this whole bi sister thing. Now, I'm not a massive fan of James Charles makeup. I do have a palette by Tati, and I do like her makeup. I do like that palette. Jefree Star, you know, I've got a couple products by him. I've got this mirror, I think I've got concealer, and I've got two palettes. Not the one that they did the collab with Dawson. But I wouldn't say that I was, and I don't have anything by James Charles. I'm not a massive rainbow palette girl. I like a lot of more grungy shades. So I'm not really a massive of green palettes. So that's the kind of stuff he does, isn't it? But anyway, so it was interesting this week that there was all this stuff about, well, this week and last week, about Tati breaking her silence. Now, my friend on YouTube, Amanda Moore, her videos are great. You need to check them out. I watched her one of the, you know, actually this morning. And it was interesting when she was saying that, you know, given the whole situation with the pandemic and everything at the moment, and all the things that are going on in the world, the whole issue of the, you know, the racism, with the, you know, there was the whole thing that happened in America a few weeks ago with that gentleman getting killed by the police, and the whole Black Lives Matters movement. The whole thing with the makeup community does seem very kind of, almost kind of like childish what's going on, and a bit of an odd timing that she would bring this up. Now, I did think at the time, because all the once the whole Black Lives movement was, you know, there was a lot about it in the last couple of weeks on YouTube. It was interesting timing that Tati brought this video out, because all the stuff about Shane Dawson and Jefree Star, which has been kind of in the back burner for a long time. I mean, you know, according to a lot of YouTubers, there's been a lot of people saying that, you know, people have been talking about this issue with about Jefree and Shane for years, but it has been kind of muted, died down, especially with things like the conspiracy launch, you know, which has elevated them into like the popular sort of viewing. It's only really been recently, since the Black Lives Matters campaign over the last few weeks, that all the stuff about, you know, Shane Dawson and Jefree Star's past has come out. Again, I'm not saying it's come out because it has been out for a long time. So this is the Milk. This is a really light, very, very subtle highlighter by Milk Makeup. It's a really good one, actually. I got it in a box, so I was quite glad to have it. So I'm just going to pause the video. Sorry, my videos are always getting interrupted, like, continuously. Yeah, so I just thought it was interesting that Tati decided to break her silence at the moment that Shane and Jefree were kind of being hauled over the coals again for past behaviours. So I'm going to use two different palettes to do my eye look today. I'm going to use, for just this one base shade, I'm going to use, this is such a gorgeous palette. This is Linda Hallberg's Enchanted Mysteries, but look at this. So gorgeous. I love it so much. But I'm going to use obviously just the white one, because I think this one here, which is one of my favourite palettes ever, which is the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette, here, it doesn't have any very light For me, I quite like for a base eye, I quite like quite a light shade, and unless sometimes when I'm going out in the evening, but I mean for the day look, you know, these are all very dark, but look how gorgeous these colours are. Anyway, so I'm going to start with this one. So I can't even see without my glasses, right? So yeah, it was interesting timing that Tati decided that she was going to sort of break her silence and talk about what went on last year. So if you don't know about some of you might have even cared about this, not interested in this whatsoever. I don't know how together, maybe how much I care about this whatsoever anyway, but anyway. So last year with the Bi Sister thing, I'm going to use the shade Serene. Spell it Serene, but I think it's supposed to be Serene. Tati, who'd had a really good friendship. Oh, I forgot to do my eyebrows. I'm going to use the Benefit Give Me Brow in shade 3, I think it is. Yeah, 3. Yeah, so Tati, who had a great friendship with James Charles for a long time, she did this Bi Sister video. I mean, obviously we know James Charles's kind of catchphrase is, you know, hello sisters. So she did a Bi Sister video in which she it was almost a bit of an expose on James, and it was under the guise that she felt very, very worried about him. And I'm sure in many ways, sorry, that's the bin men outside, so that's what you hear outside. Yeah, she was said she was very worried about him. His behaviours were questionable. There was all this kind of indications that apparently there'd been some kind of she'd heard some kind of receipts about how he'd been a sort of predatory behaviour with young men, and all this. And you know, she didn't give any receipts. She didn't like say the proof. Sorry, I'm just but she did say that she was worried about James, and so that's the problem with this thing. If you put it on too dark, it just is really difficult to get off. Where is my eye thing comb? Yeah, so she said that also as well he was almost like becoming a bit too arrogant with his fame, because obviously up until that point he had, you know, he wasn't, he'd obviously just, he'd had a you know, a massive rise through the Morphe Hall of Fame really, really quickly. I don't even know what I'm trying to say today, sorry. This might probably yesterday, but you know, he had a kind of cataclysmic sort of kind of explosion and rise with his palettes and his popularity of his YouTube channel. And you know, he was doing well very, very quickly, and she was worried that he was getting too big for his boots, and she worried about some of his behaviours. She mentioned something about a birthday party when he had really almost like bad behaviour at a birthday party. And I think where people didn't like what she did and where she was heavily criticised was that she didn't do it in private. She, you know, if somebody's a really good friend of yours, you should take them aside and say, look, I don't accept what you're doing. You should be, you know, you're on the wrong path or whatever. I'm really worried about you. She did it in the public eye. She made a YouTube video. She pressed, you know, record. She pressed upload, and that was her choice. And like, I think I watched Jen Loves Reviews video on this, and like she said, you know, a lot of people have been going on about age, or you know, she's this grown ass woman kind of thing. She's nearly 40, but I do accept what Jen says, that you know, at the end of the day, she was talking about manipulation, and I suppose anyone can be manipulated at any age. And I think what's come out now in this video that she recently published, which was breaking my silence, was that she was saying all this kind of influence of sticking this out on the internet, this thing about James, was down to, she says, certain people being in her ear, mainly Jefree Star and Shane Dawson. And she said she'd been so scared to come forward and say it, because obviously they're very powerful YouTubers. They're, especially with Jefree in the beauty community, he's a big player, and probably rightly so, quite, you know, intimidated about taking him on. For many people that could be the death knell of their career. So Chatty does have quite a good career herself, right? So I'm going to go in with, I like the fact this palette folds back like that, so you can hold it. So I'm going to go in with this kind of khaki green colour here. Yes, so yeah, so she basically decided to do this video saying, like, you know, I was manipulated, this was all down to sort of Jefree and Shane in my ear. I'm just breaking my silence now because I was scared and blah blah blah, and that she apologised to James. Now, she also mentioned as well that she had been worried about James's reaction at the time, and that he was in a high building in a hotel, and she was worried that for his safety. And like Jen Loves Reviews said, at the end of the day, you got to take accountability for your actions. If you're actually worried that someone's going to do something to harm themselves, surely to goodness you don't post a video on YouTube and then make things worse for them in their career. You would speak to them as a friend individually and maybe go over and see them and air your concerns. So it seems a bit interesting that maybe a lot of people are saying a lot of this may be to do with the fact that, more so to do with a knee-jerk reaction that James had decided to use and advertise Sugar Bear Hair vitamins, which was a competitor to her Halo Beauty vitamins. So was it just she was annoyed, venting? How worried was she really about James? And she said she was wanting to get him to pay attention and be off his phone and listen to her about his questionable behaviour and all this. But how actually worried was she? Was she genuinely worried, or was she just annoyed? But anyway, so there's that. And then so the video that she posted up, sorry, I'm going to have to pause again because people come in all the time in the street. That's that shade there. I'm going to clean the brush using this. This is actually a fantastic tool. If you haven't seen it, the Colour Switch by Vera Mona, and you can get them on Amazon. It's about £10. And what it does, if you're using eyeshadow brushes and instead of cleaning them after every single use of them, and especially if you're switching colours, it has this kind of gauze effect thing, and it collects. What you do is you go like this to clean your brushes. It basically flicks off the powder, and then it just collects, and then you wash that later. Okay, so next I'm going to do my cut crease, and I'm going to do my cut crease with, let me see, this little slightly darker shade up here. Again, going with the khaki colours. I love the grungy colours. That's sort of more my jam. Yeah, so my view on it is, at the end of the day, like, she made a mistake with the original video. Again, people do make mistakes. Whatever, and if she was manipulated by Jefree and Shane, you can understand in a way she shouldn't have done it. I'm not making an excuse for Tati. She needs to be accountable for her own behaviour, and she made a mistake, but she shouldn't. Was it because she wanted to get in with the in crowd, as you probably saw? I mean, a lot of people. This is why I like mainly like subscribing to micro influencers or smaller channels, and that's why the majority of the channels I subscribe to are those type of channels, because I think when you get to this ego channels, sorry again, I'm really sorry. Sorry, my little girl's going down to see my husband now. Yeah, so see, it's hard then to remember what I was saying. What was I saying? Yeah, so she has to take accountability that she did make those decisions. Yes, you can be manipulated at any age, like Jen says. But at the end of the day, this kind of thing about, you can see maybe, it's a bit like high school when people want to sort of reach the higher echelons of, trying to get popular, trying to be in the popular group, all these kind of things. And I suppose in a way that's why she maybe did it. Maybe she thought, get in with Jefree and Shane, I can be in with the in crowd. I mean, Jen talks about how there was a party that she wasn't invited to, all the other top beauty YouTubers, if there is a thing. I quite see the beauty community as all one, but there are people that are considered, like the leading lights. She wasn't invited, and this idea of being with Shane and being with Jefree, maybe she thought it was a gate door into that world, even though actually she had great success on her own, millions of followers. Then she opened this can of worms then about the whole situation. Some of it was very self-indulgent, I thought, a little bit. Yes, okay, you can see she was genuinely upset. I think the body language, I know some people are going, oh, fake crying, including Shane Dawson. Oh, fake crying, she's not upset, she just wants sympathy. Well, of course she wants sympathy. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt that that's why she went and did the video. She wanted the public to be back on her side, and of course because she'd lost a lot of followers last year from the whole James Charles thing, and I think she wanted that kind of support again. So of course there was that angle to it. There's always an angle for someone putting a video like that up. Always. You know, no one's doing it just to, you know, she's not doing it just to sort of say I'm sorry to James. She probably did that in private. And some other people were saying like, oh, I wonder if she really has made up with James. Well, of course she's made up with James, else obviously he could easily then come out of the video saying, oh no, no, she hasn't. She hasn't made up with me. So, and I think the reason is to show the public that her and James are back in good terms again, to say that she's sorry to James publicly, and, well, to out Shane and Jefree, which is quite a brave move in a way, because they are very, very powerful people on YouTube. However, the timing's interesting, isn't it? Because let's kind of kick them while they're down thing, because of this whole, the new revelations, well, it's not even new revelations, but this new discussion on the racist past, and the fact that Shane did blackface, and there's people coming out now saying that he's still racist. I mean, I don't know enough about the man, I don't know enough about the background, I never watched his videos then. I've seen a couple of clips where people who've been commenting have reposted the clips, but I have to say I haven't watched any of those videos myself. Wouldn't be interested in at all. I think they're very distasteful, and there has been some other people come out saying, oh, he's still racist. Now, whether that claims are true or not, it's hard to prove that unless somebody has actually video footage or, you know, recordings of that. So if that is the case, that is disgusting, and you know, and he should be cancelled. And all that kind of stuff about the stuff about predatory behaviour and comments he made about young children, like I think he made some silly video where he was saying weird stuff about Will Smith's daughter, was that right? Yeah, again, all these behaviours. Okay, yes, he was younger when he did it, and he maybe thought it was just a joke. And I mean, I very much doubt that Shane Dawson, there isn't actually any, you know, I doubt he is the P word, but whether he did when he was younger said these things as a kind of joke or not is totally unacceptable, totally disgusting, and he should never have done it. And he obviously did apologise for this in his apology video. However, again, you know, how genuine is his apology video? He's losing subscribers, he's kind of the bad books on YouTube at the moment, and he's probably worried. He's probably worried that he's losing the support of the community. So how genuine is his? I don't know. But anyway, so there was that, and then obviously we've got the whole thing with Jeffree Star. I'm going to use a little bit of this brownie gold just to jazz up the middle of it. The coppery gold rather. So I don't know. I mean, like with Jeffree Star, I think, you know, it's not a new claim that he's made racist comments in the past, which is disgusting. It's he should never should have done it. Never should have done it. But if it was just this one instance in the past where he felt, I think he said that he was attacked, well, almost like verbally attacked by, when he was younger, by people making homophobic comments, and he said he just reacted and said it in a kind of defense mechanism thing. If that was the only incident and he profusely apologized for it, he should probably be forgiven for that, because he was younger. Maybe it was a defence thing, and obviously homophobia is not acceptable either from the point of view of those people that said that to him. However, and if he completely said sorry, and actually he, you know, wasn't racist at his core, maybe, you know, if that wasn't his actual feelings, and he just said it as a kind of, it wouldn't have been acceptable still, but it could be forgiven in time, and you know, but what I think what the community are saying is that, has he actually changed his ways? Now, I don't think he's ever, I mean, I don't know about him ever posting recently things that are racist, although some people say there are still evidence that he is. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really watch his videos. Do you know, is he still making those type of comments? I mean, I have no idea. But if that's the case, then again, of course he should be cancelled. And I do think it was brave of Tati to sort of go down the route of exposing, because although she was a bit over the top, I did think it was a bit over the top. Like, it was all that stuff about almost like, you know, no, like The Godfather or something, like Jefree Star, the Godfather of YouTube. You know, she was saying like she feared for her life and she had to move house or something. I can't even remember what it was. Maybe you can tell me. But she was having to get lawyers, like giving lawyers the paperwork evidence, saying, look, you know, if anything happens to me, here's the evidence. And you know, I mean, you know, he's not like, you know, like I say, Dun, 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 dun. You know, it's not, you know, I don't know. This is by Flowfishy, Uzo Flowfishy. This is a really, really nice set of eyeliners. I actually got two of them from Japan. You can actually get them quite freely in the US, and it's quite easy to get them. In the UK, I've had to order them off Amazon, it's international Amazon. It took me ages to get them and quite a bit in shipping. So because they're from, you know, being shipped from Japan, but they're so good. They're so good. I love this so much. I really want to get this like a sort of like aubergine coloured one. I really want to get that. So I'm really bad at doing my eyeliner when I'm talking. But yeah, so it's a difficult one, isn't it? Like, you know, obviously there's a side of it is that is Tati now turning because the tide's turning against Jefree and Shane, so it's the right time to expose them. I'm sure she had genuine feelings of regret about what happened to James. He was her friend, and I'm sure she felt really badly, genuinely bad for him. But then this other side of it is, like I say, the weird timing, the kicking somebody while they're already getting kicked, and so on and so forth. It's very interesting. What's your views on the whole situation? I also do think, I mean, it's hard to find sympathy for anyone in that situation, isn't it? But there we go. I also think as well that the other videos in question, so we've got the one, Shane Dawson's React video. Why the heck he published that is anyone's guess. So we've got him ranting and raving with Rylan talking in the background, who actually seemed a lot calmer and a little bit more kind of calm and normal in his reaction than Jefree did, because not Jefree, Shane was going mental, and it was interesting because, like Jen said, there was a bit when he sort of, as she put it, broke character, when he was almost a way to say some insulting comment, use the F word, and then he was a way to use some insulting comment about Tati, and he was like, oh well, you know, but I'm not going to say, I don't want to say mean things about people, and it's almost like I remember I'm an empath, you know, I'm a compassionate, sensitive person. I don't say mean things. But it was almost like he was a way to drop character there, which is interesting because people, you know, there has been some kind of talk about maybe he's not quite as nice as people, you know, the sensitive, kind, you know, guy of YouTube, the one that's, you know, there for everyone, you know, the uncle's shoulder to cry on sort of persona that he tries to put across. And certainly in all the videos I've watched of him recently in his documentaries where he's sort of kindly talking to people and saying, look, you know, you're going to be okay and things, that's the kind of character he tries to put across. But there has been people have said that, you know, he's not actually like that. That's kind of almost like a little bit of a, that's almost like a little bit of a sort of, you know, persona that is put across. So whether that's true or not, I don't know. So I'm using here for my lashes, and I love the thin wand on this, so you can get quite a lot of lashes and it's not overly gloopy. And this is the MAC Extended Play Giga Black lash, and it's really good for just you know, putting on a light bit, you know, to put this on lightly and to cut, and it gives you full coverage, which is great. Yeah, so there's that. And you know, interesting enough, Jefree Star hasn't said anything. He's been sitting there living his best life. I was laughing at, I have to laugh at oh, I'm trying to remember the YouTuber's name. There's one YouTuber I watch. Oh my god, he's really famous and I can't remember his name. Def Noodles. And I was laughing at his commentary video on it. It was absolutely hilarious. And he was saying like, oh, here's Jefree living his best life, buying, you know, some new cars, swimming in his pool, chilling, not even caring at all. He's got his big legal team behind him. He doesn't really care. And so that's interesting that he hasn't said anything, because normally he's quite one for ranting off on YouTube, isn't he? When somebody crosses him. I mean, he has put, a couple of weeks ago, put things up on the internet going, saying, no one will come for me, I've got all the receipts on everyone, I've got like all this evidence against everyone. So who knows what's going to go on there. This is my eye look, so yeah, so that's that. So it's just very interesting. Like people have said, it is a little bit high school, you know, and there are more important things going on in the world than what's going on in the world, what's going on in the beauty world at the moment. You know, it's just, but then again, people are drawn to drama, and I know quite often there's been things going, people who've made commentary videos on YouTube, And then in the beauty community say, oh, but you know, we want to show the beauty community is not like this, and we just don't want any of this drama. But then they talk about it. So we're all a bit hypocritical really sometimes when it comes to this type of thing, because we say, oh, it's we don't talk about it, and then we talk about it, which is interesting. I mean, that's the thing, I suppose, human nature, to like a little bit, to be a little bit nosy, isn't it? A little bit of drama. But well, who knows how things are going to go? Is it going to be, you know, so many people are now coming on now into, there's a lot of people breaking their silence now. I'm just going to use this Skin Chemist. This is so nice. It's called the Rose Quartz Youth Defense Lip Plump. And what it does, it's actually a very light pink. Almost, it's like a gloss, but also pumps your lip, plumps your lips. So it actually gives you a nice little effect. And it's light, especially if your eyes are done darker. Okay, so I don't know, what's your views on things in the what you know in the in what's happened? What's your views? Do you side with anyone particularly? Are you like me and you're like they're all kind of got some kind of aspect of guilt about the whole situation? Some more than others. I don't know. I don't know. But like I say, you can't really go onto YouTube now with every second video being someone coming for Jefree Star or Shane Dawson. It's like it's like the king is dead, long live the king sort of thing. Anyway, thanks very much for watching my video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.